So welcome back to more of Mega Man X2, where we're off to take on the X-Hunters. And this is their own fortress in the North Pole, so at least they kind of show you where you're going compared to the Sigma stages in the first game. This first part starts off pretty basic. You're just trying to make it through these bats, and yeah, just want to get that life. Just wanted to show off where that was. And this first part is pretty easy. There's just a bunch of platforming. The platforming in this section is actually pretty easy, and a lot of it's going to feature these vertical climbing sections, such as one right here. And we haven't seen this since the beginning of the game. And of course this is the easy one. Since this is a Mega Man game, they'll have more and they will be tougher. That's just past you. Never mind, that was terribly done. Let's just keep going here. Yeah, I want to use the Silk Shot in order to take those guys out, because it's pretty easy to get hit by those guys, or to run into those guys by accident, and then end up getting knocked into a place where you can get yourself crushed. And of course the really easy way to cheese this is just to kill them that way with the Silk Shot. And let's see, right here you get your choice of two paths, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and shoot for the top one. You know what, since I have this, I might as well use it. Oh, he came back and got me, that jerk. Let's see, I think there needs to be another one of these climbing sections. And predictably, Violin's going to be our first boss, and let's see, right here I'm going to try and take out the, I guess the retractor thing. Yep, there we go. And since we got him out of the way, this climb is actually pretty tricky, but no big deal once you cheese your way through things just like I did. So now we're off to the boss, and the boss is going to be Violin, and I'm just going to use the same strategy I did earlier. So let's just go ahead and get this started. And what Violin does differently this time is that he likes to form these blocks, and they can really affect the kind of terrain you're dealing with. And also they can make certain areas a lot safer than others, whereas in the first fight it was a lot more random as to what area was safe and what wasn't. And you can hide behind the blocks to use them as a shield, sort of. So let's just go ahead and get out of the way of this one. Okay, the guy's gonna be a smartass about it. Then again, I thought I was the one being a smartass, turned out I was not. You can also use the bubble splash on him, but I just find the X-Buster to be better. Alright, time to go. And fortunately, I did evolve everything, so even though I did get hit a lot, it wasn't that tough a fight. And though I actually got hit way more than I should have, but that's just kind of how this fight goes sometimes. So the first stage of the X-Hunters is done. So let's just teleport out of here and get ourselves a password. And the password doesn't really matter from this point on, because every time you use a password you just start from the X-Hunter castle anyway. I think they changed that in X4. Yeah, all the PlayStation 1s changed that. But now on to Stage 2, and Stage 2 is by far the shortest. And this just features some underwater parts. And I just had to outrace these sharks. And yeah, outside of that there really isn't much else to this stage. There's some underwater sections, some narrow pillars you have to worry about. And let's see, there's also going to be some sections with spikes that I do have to worry about. Oh, and by the way, geometry is your friend, kids. Make sure you remember that. Then again, do they even teach geometry at schools anymore? I don't even remember. Well, maybe in high school. Let's see, for this part all you have to do is just make your jumps accordingly. And I'm just hanging out here just because I don't feel like dropping into spikes. Alright, see, this next part's a little tricky because of the pretty touchy hit detection with the spikes. So let's just go ahead and get up here. Yeah, it's really easy to overshoot that and then jump into that set of spikes. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get hit by those because they don't really feel like falling. Yeah, it is really easy to overcorrect and then end up landing yourself on the spikes. Here you could use the speed burner and then try and get an extra life, but it's actually pretty involved. And it's one I've actually gotten killed more often than not trying to get it. Okay, well that was kind of sloppy, but regardless, we're at the boss. And Surges is going to be the boss. If you have the Giga attack, you can actually destroy his turrets right away. But unfortunately, since I don't, I'll just have to make do with the Silk Shot instead. And Surges comes out with 4 different turrets. They all do different things depending on which side of the or I guess depending on which side of the, or which side vertically you're on. Like if you're up or down, then he just goes to a different one. And then once you clear out all 4 turns, you switch to either the Sonic Slicer or the Speed Burner. And he's just gonna fire these shots that are gonna alternate between straight ahead shots or 45-degree angle shots. And they all disperse, and unfortunately, because you have such narrow space and because it is kind of hard to hit him since you have to hit him in the head, this boss fight is pretty annoying. I don't really find it to be that hard, I just find it to be really annoying. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, if this runs long, I'm going to speed this up. But right now, I think I got my rhythm down. Or not. So let's see what to talk about now. Let's see, I should get to recording X3 soon. I finally finished recording Mega Man 5 for Game Boy. And so I just gotta get a hold of people and see when the right date to record those is gonna happen. And let's see, we almost got them done here. So I'm gonna switch to Speed Burner real quick. Okay, that was definitely a lot easier. Okay, yeah, this is so much easier. I don't really know why I didn't do this first. Anyway, with all that, Surges is dead. And we are done with the second X Hunter stage. And I find it funny that the password changes. So now on to the third stage. And this is going to be the most involved one. This one's definitely the longest. And of course, because they have the scary music, this one means that they mean business. And they start off with these knights that are these shield guys that just like to throw discs at me and annoy me. And there are going to be a lot of power-ups in this stage, and there's a very good reason for it. And I gotta get this jerk off me. Okay, just keep going here. There are definitely a lot of spikes I have to worry about, so right now what I have to do is just make these jumps. And they rotate clockwise, and they do give you an opportunity to practice it, so that's one thing that Mega Man games have always done well. Just go up here. And that means my sub-tanks are full, so that's always good. And of course, since it is a progression, they up the ante on it. So what I have to do is just head over to the left, and then make my jump. And that will not do. Actually, you know what, let's just clear you out first. Let's see, I want to get this up. Never mind, that was just a dumb idea. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Anyway, with that huge waste of weapons out of the way, let's just keep going here. Let's see, I want to get Crystal Hunter up. Yeah, the Crystal Hunter is going to be really important to getting the next power up, and that's going to be the Shoryuken. And you know what, I think I have to kill one of them, because to get the Shoryuken you have to be at full health. And let's see, I need to get one of these guys to follow me, because that's the only way to get to this top ladder. And let's see, what do I have to do here? Well, first thing I have to do is kill this guy. And then second thing I want to do is get the Crystal Hunter up again. And then just make this dash. So let's just go ahead and destroy these guys. And this one I need the speed burner. And I somehow need to make this work. Alright, just end up getting it on my first try. And all you gotta do now is just slide down. And I think it should be this one. There we go. And here we find Dr. Light, doing his best Wayne's World impression. I mean, out of all the Saturday Night Live based movies, that was actually the only good one. I mean, you could make a decent case for Coneheads, but at the end of the day, Wayne's World was really the only one. So let's just keep going here. Should be close to the end. I actually want to get Crystal Hunter up, because I want to freeze these guys and use them as platforms. And yeah, this is where you get the most mileage out of a Crystal Snail's weapon. Unless you want to count the boss rush. And yes, spoiler alert, there is a boss rush and there is a final boss in this game. That's not the X-Hunters. Now, since I have full health, I actually can Shoryuken this boss and kill him in one hit, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do this the legitimate way. I mean, if I end up dying, I'll just Shoryuken his ass, but here's Agile riding some weird tube. And his weakness is the magnet mines, and whenever he shoots these sparks and then forms these section of spikes, you have to somehow get under him and then wait for it to drop. Fortunately, the spikes don't kill you instantly, but it is pretty easy to get dropped into a pit. And then sometimes he likes to form those mines. And this is a pretty big departure from the way he fights normally. And I end up killing him without getting hit. And yeah, spoiler alert, Sigma's the final boss. So with that, Agile is dead, and that is the end of the X-Hunters. And too bad we never see them again. So with that, we get our password. And that is the end of that, so join me next time as I take out Sigma for the second time. See you then.